by his good conduct and good behavior and akhlaq. That this is the very same man that I have caused so much of pain, that I would draw thorns on the path to hurt him, to prevent him from using this road again and again, again and again. But today I am sick. The very same person that I have caused so much of trouble, he is here to see me when I am sick. And the heart of this woman softened. And what did this woman do? She accepted La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Ya Rasulullah.
Through the good akhlaq of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through the good mannerism of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people became Muslims. Therefore, my dear respected Islamic brothers, one message of today is, people are not necessarily concerned by your bombastic words or concerned about how much you know about Islam, how much you know about Deen. People want to see you in action. When you say you are a mu'min, you are a Muslim, your akhlaq, your attitude and your mannerism must depict the mannerism of a person who is a Muslim. In one occasion, Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'minin Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala tells his companions that, tells the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that preach Islam in your silence. Preach Islam in your silence. The companions were confused. They say, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, how would we be able to do this? When you want to give someone dawah, when you want to speak to someone about deen, you need to use words to make him understand. I mean, you need to engage with him. You need to tell him what Islam is. You need to tell him who the Prophet ﷺ is. You need to tell him this, you need to tell him that. But you're saying preach Islam in our silence. How is that possible in the first place? Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala says that preach Islam with your good manners, with your good conduct and behavior. Subhanallah. Because that is what people are going to look at. That is what people are going to look at from you, my dear respected Islamic brothers, and are going to look at from me. I cannot be telling you that to smoke cigarette is wrong, but you find me smoking the very same cigarette. I cannot tell you that to drink alcohol is haram, and you find me drinking the very same alcohol. It doesn't go together. And therefore this was not the practice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant what he said. And maybe some of us will hear this for the very first time, that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam really didn't speak much, but he acted so much. He spoke very little, but the amount of effort that he put in his action in order to demonstrate what he has said was really out of this world, my dear respected Islam. One beautiful incident comes to mind, and we will wrap up with this. That Hazrat Zayd bin Sana'a radiallahu ta'ala, before he became a Muslim, he was a Jewish scholar. Hazrat Zayd bin Sana'a, he learned about all the attributes, mannerism, conduct of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Torah. That was before he became a Muslim. How Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would look, the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would conduct himself, all those good attributes of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he learned about them in the Torah, except for two that he could not find, except for two that he had to learn directly from the personality of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he hatched a plan. What was his plan? He bought some kajur from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they agreed on the date of delivery. Or on so and so date, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will deliver these dates. And when there were few days before the actual date of agreement, Hazrat Zayd bin Sana'a appeared in the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he started demanding his dates in a very bitter tone and using unpleasant words. And he went to such an extent to say, it has become the trait of the children of Abdul Muttalib, that they delay in fulfilling the rights of people. Imagine the date has not yet arrived for delivery. Here is a person demanding his dates and kajur, and even going further to say it has become the trait of the children of Abdul Muttalib to delay in fulfilling the rights of people. When Amir al-Mu'mineen Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala heard this, he pointed at Hazrat Zayd bin Sana and says to him, if the respect that I have for the Prophet ﷺ has not stopped me, I would have taken your head out with my sword. He says, oh enemy of Allah, how dare you disrespect Rasulullah ﷺ in this manner? And Rasulullah ﷺ is listening to Sayyidina Umar, and then he says, oh Umar, what have you said? Oh Umar, why are you saying this? By you saying this type of words, you have not benefited me, neither have you benefited this particular person. Why are you not encouraging me to pay this man his kajur with kindness? Sorry, pay this particular person his kajur. And why are you not telling him also that when he is demanding his kajur, he must do that with kindness? In this way, you would have benefited me because you would have encouraged me to pay him, and you would have benefited him to understand that as and when he demands, he must demand with kindness. What did Rasulullah ﷺ do after this? He instructed Hazrat Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, "O Umar, give this man all the kajur and the dates which is owed to him, and give him also extra kajur." And when they were presented in his court, Abdullah Sayyidina bin Sana, Zayd bin Sana radiallahu ta'ala says, "O Umar, this is not what is owed to me, you have given me extra." Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala then says that this is the command of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give you even extra days because of threatening your life. Because I have used words to say that if the respect of the Prophet did not stop me, I could have cut your head. For that sentence, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has ordered me to give you more kajur. And then he says to Hazrat Umar, "Oh Umar, do you know who am I?" Hazrat Umar says, "I don't know who you are." He says, "I am Zayd bin Sana, a Jewish scholar, a most notable scholar of the Jews." And he says, "Look, if you are the scholar of the Jews, why did you disrespect Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this manner? You have read the Torah. You know all about attributes and etiquettes and mannerism of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why did you disrespect him in this manner?" Hazrat Zayd bin Sana then says that I have learned about all good qualities and attributes of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Torah. However, there were two that I needed to learn personally from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what were those two attributes and two mannerisms? He says that number one is that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he says that the first one is that the mannerism of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the conduct of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be above ignorance. Conduct of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be much above ignorance. You come to him with ignorance, he will show you such good mannerism that you would even start thinking, why did you address Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that negative manner? And secondly, the more you push him with ignorance, is the more his patience and tolerance increases. And he says, I have now concluded. This was mentioned in the Torah, but I needed to see it physically from him. Now that I have learned it from him directly, I conclude, O Umar, that indeed Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is indeed the Prophet of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Therefore he recited La ilaha illallah in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He became a Muslim. And then what did he say after that? What did he do? He said, "Oh Umar, not only am I a Jewish scholar, I am also a very rich man from the Jews. I have money, I have wealth. And this is what Islam does when it enters the heart of a person. This is what Islam does when it enters the heart of a person who is looking for truth, with the eyes of looking for truth, not with the eyes of being biased. When he had conducted Rasulullah ﷺ is the true Prophet of Allah, and after taking Islam, he says, "Oh Umar, I am a very rich man from the Jews, and I want to make you a witness today that I have given half of my wealth as charity for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Half of his wealth, he has given it as charity for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam." What has led this man to accept Islam? The akhlaq and the attitude and the mannerism of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you see how important it is for us to have good akhlaq and good mannerism? Out there, many of us are coming from different non-Islamic backgrounds. Many of us cannot even be able to preach Islam using our words. But there is one weapon that every single one of us possess. That is good akhlaq. Subhanallah. That is something that we can use as a weapon. That is something that we can use, which is more sharper than the tongue, in order to ensure that people embrace this beautiful religion of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And therefore, my dear respected Islamic brothers, let us try by all means to adopt good manners. Let us try by all means never take revenge driven by nafs and self-desires. Let us forgive those who have done us wrong. As it comes in one narration that Hazrat Ali was actually being given an advice, that the Prophet ﷺ says that this is the advice of people who came before me, and this is the most valuable advice for people to come after me. He says, "Oh Ali, forgive those who do you wrong. Oh Ali, those who do you wrong, forgive them." And then he also says, "Oh Ali, those who deprive you, you ask him for something from a person, he deprives you, even though he has it, even though you know he is in a position to assist you, even though you know he is in a position of helping you, but he chooses not to." Rasulullah says, "Oh Ali, those who deprive you, tomorrow when they come looking for assistance, if you are in a position of helping them, do not do like they did when they deprived you. Oh Ali, give them, do not deprive them." This is the best example for those people who came. This is the best example and advice for people living in this world today. And this is the example of all times. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala grant us all good akhlaq and good mannerism, and may make it such that we can follow the footsteps of our beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala also grant us each and every thawab for every little minute that I have taken of your time. And may Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala substitute all those minutes into good akhlaq and into good mannerism for our success in this dunya and for our success in the akhirat. Amin bi jay Nabil Amin sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, now time for sunnah.